Man, all right, look. Her drip is not from me, but I admire it. You know what I mean? She also plays with colors in a cool way. Not even watching it yet, but I mean, I don't know if she's the one who set up the shot, but like the shot is already awesome as fuck. The colors and contrast are awesome. All right, so this song is about 1 year old, has 1.8 million views. Damn, girl, you need some more eyes on that for how talented you are. You should be up there with like, what's her name? Taylor Swift with like 42 billion plays on a single song. More people have listened to that one song by Taylor Swift than I think there are people on Earth. That's a scary concept. Bullshit. All right, let's see what our girls got. I think this is our last of the Chinchilla ones that Steph requested. We're gonna get this done, and then I think on that, after that, we'll be moving to Rin, What You Want, because that was requested as well by Nick. I think it was Nico D. Let me double check so I don't say the wrong thing here. Yeah, Nico D. From Australia, can you please react to What You Want? If possible, no stress, no rush. And then Steffi also, like I said, she did all this. William, please check out Chinchilla. We've already read this before, but just to give it context for new viewers, this is over on Buy Me a Coffee. I would be laid alive by my manager. the If I didn't mention that you guys can always go to Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even do a super chat, or you can just put in, you can just ask. It might take me a little bit of time, but eventually I'm going to be getting to them. I do kind of prioritize the Buy Me a Coffees and the super chats just because, obviously when someone's putting money with their time, it's a little harder to ignore them, But you can always go over to Buy Me a Coffee. There's no minimum requirement. The only thing I ask is that in future references, if you want to make a request, just make it to one or two songs. But if you are going to make it a few, that's okay. I will get through them all. You just, give me a little time, and I might, jump around a little, but we're going to get it done. I promise you. The link is going to be in the description. It is in the description of the stream, and it will be description in the video that I cut out as a VOD to upload later today. So that everybody has the ability to watch it, because obviously catching a live stream is pretty hard to do. There's no guarantee that our timelines are going to match up. People have jobs. People are very busy, especially in economies like this where, things are a little shaky and people are having to pick up extra hours and extra stuff. So I don't want to make it as easy and accessible to everybody else. So when we're going to stream, just so we can get it all out there. We can have a day of it. So we're going to have a regular time so people can know when to show up and have fun, chit chat. Can also help lead the direction, and I can get a live feedback on what I'm doing, where things are going. But we're also going to make videos of the reactions and upload them later that night. So this way everybody gets it and everybody gets to win, and the important things that people subscribe for will still be here. All that to be said, if I'm going to go full time with this, I need to put a little more effort into it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't just do 2 videos a day and move on. Streamers and, people like that, they're on sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day. So we're going to get into it. We're going to have fun. And then I think we also have, so once we have done Dawn of Rhymes' Electric Callboy, we are going to be completely caught up on the Buy Me a Coffee requests and stuff like that. So we'll be able to move forward with picking random songs and just getting buck wild with it and getting through the list. That's right, the list. Those of you that don't know, my moderator and manager, Kia, has taken it upon herself to write up the infamous list, along with links and stuff like that where you can find the actual videos. But I've rambled way too long. But the reason why streaming is cool, by the way, is that I can now cut all of this crap out. The stuff that I like to talk about, giving you guys call outs and love and all that stuff. But for those of you that want to just get straight into a video, when I upload it, I'm going to add the little part where I say who requested it, and then boom, we're going to put it in. And then the video is going to be a lot shorter, a little more concise, and more respectful of your time. And that's the important factor. And it gives me an excuse to learn how to re-edit and get into the news like that. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. All right, guys, which is right over here.
Cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I stole your thunder, you've had too much attention.
Is there she's got like a weirdness to her voice. I think I'm gonna have to look up the lyrics because I'm not seeing it and I can't, maybe my brain isn't working. I'm not understanding it. CHINCHILLA cut you off lyrics. Thank you. All right, so we'll put this on the other screen over here. Wait, whoops, that's not what I told you to do. Oh, bro, what are you doing? Honestly, we could just leave it on this. And then now, there we go. All right, now we're gonna get into it. Let's go. All right.
Cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off.
Okay.
I stole your thunder, you've had too much attention already. So I used what you left me to sharpen my machete.
Ooh, ooh. Please tell me you guys saw that shot. There's no way. Hold on, we gotta go back. That, like, okay, one, this is probably like a prop or whatever, and then they CGI it, but it doesn't matter. Obviously, they have to do something like that. What a crazy, like, what a crazy transaction. Also, like, as someone who, like, let's just look at the lyrics for what she said already. Cut you off. I blocked your number. I cut you off. I stole your thunder. You've had too much attention already. So I used what you left me to sharpen my machete. And then boom, almost as if you're going, like, obviously you're going into the door into her mind so you can see what she's talking about. But like, let's just get back into this. This is
cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I stole your thunder, you've had too much attention already. So I used what you left me to sharpen my machete.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds good. Those are the little things I don't really care too much in her performance. Like I said, amazing singer, amazing songstress, and she's already given me a lot more than her usual, like, revenge, even though it's kind of revenge-esque, you know. But, you know, but just the like that, it's hard to do, but it's, to me, it breaks up the emotional pacing of the music.
Attention already. So I used what you left me to sharpen my machete.
Like that. That isn't necessary. But, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe we'll get a little more into it. And it's her slowly building up to, like, an explosive finale. But, I don't know. Right now, it sounds like it shouldn't be in the song. But I could be crazy. That's just me.
Testament. Teeth in a conversation, feed them a tongue untied.
Also, the word testament is such a cool, like, one, it's an awesome character in Guilty Gear. Just putting that out there. Let's watch. This shot is so cool because I think the shot's technically a dolly zoom into it, and then it cuts to a new. Like, I believe that's a dolly zoom. I could totally be wrong. I'm not the most, you know, most impressive with technical knowledge as we've all seen here on this show. I called classical guitar Spanish guitar.
Testament. Teeth in a conversation, feed them a tongue untied. Deep in a rumination, me and a bottle of wine.
Okay, that was sick. Hold on, we gotta go back. That was sick. Did you, like, think about how that vocal run was? Like, how difficult that would have been to do ever. Like, I probably could, bro. Just listen, like, she goes so high, back to low, back to high, and then she waves off. Like, it's actually crazy.
Teeth in a conversation, feed them a tongue untied. Deep in a rumination, me and a bottle of wine. lost my mind.
Jesus.
Finally lost composure.
I like it, dude. This is pretty gangster, dude. Like the whole movement, the bass is fucking slapping. And this is actually like playing very well into. Okay, I kind of understand that noise she made, like the rah part, because it was kind of like, you know how like Ren, when he's playing guitar and he's about to do a switch up, he'll do like a big heavy bam kind of thing, like in between, and that leads into the switch up. So what Ren does with the guitar, she's doing with her vocal performance. So it kind of makes sense now. I was being a little overly harsh. I apologize. But like, just listen to this. Like the bravado, the character, it's all there. This is perfect.
Finally lost composure, something about tonight. Buried every hatchet, left me gaslit. Top passive addict, that shit. Married to the power I let go. I lost my mind. You're so fucking.
Something that makes me a little uncomfortable is, now not with her, just in general. Like she said a line that made me think about the world at large. Gaslighting is so used in the wrong way these days. Like some people will say, like just explaining a thing these days is a form of gaslighting. Not her. I'm not saying that about Chinchilla, please. I'm just talking about a generality, especially when you're dealing with politics or, you know, work or anything. You hear the word gaslight way more than it is in the modern consensus. Sometimes it's not gaslighting. Sometimes it's just people explaining their position and why they're doing what they're doing. But let's look at the lines, because she made it to the whole section. She said, testament. Teeth in the conversation, feet on my tongue untied, deep in a rumination. Me and my bottle of wine. I lost my mind. Finally lost composure, something about tonight. Buried every hatchet. Left me gaslit. Obsessive addict. Batshit. Married to the power I lack. I lost my mind. It's pretty gangster. Like the cadence of the words, like the not necessarily her lyrical cadence and how she's doing it. You know, that's impressive. Like even just the structure and the cadence and flow of the words is impressive by itself as well. Like it's already, like just reading that, it's kind of lyrical. So the fact that she can mix that into like a hip hop that sounds like a good beat is very impressive, because that almost sounds too lyrical. Like I can't explain it. That sounds like a like if you were trying to write a song, this is like what you would try to imitate, but like you wouldn't get all the way there with like the it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, because I've written songs for Ill of Men that are in certain chapters, and you know, trying to find words that rhyme and roll together. Like let's just listen back after we've heard the words. This is interesting. I like this. And also the larger life. You know what? We'll do it right here.
Me to sharpen my machete. Testament. Teeth in a conversation, feed them with tongue untied. Deep in a rumination, me and a bottle of wine. I lost my mind. Finally lost composure, something about tonight. Buried every hatchet, left me gaslit. Top passive addict, that shit. Married to the power I let go. I lost my mind. You're so fucking bad for me.
But like, look at the even the facial tics in the way that she's moving, like in between lines. She's like, so a lot of people have told me that she uses the persona, the outfits, and all that stuff to like you know, help cancel stage fright. And there's someone who looks like this and gets on camera all the time. I started YouTube long before I should have. Like, if I would have waited until the VTuber movement and got more intertwined in that way, I probably would have been way more successful. Could you imagine not having to see this but hear this? You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand. I've always kind of batted the idea that I wanted to run a channel where it was just an icon talking instead of my video, because, you know, obviously I too, but I just said, fuck it, you know, if other people can do it, I can do it too, and fuck it. You know what I mean? Just put it out there. People are gonna say what they say. Deal with it. You know what I mean? But it's cool because you can also see that some of this is reflective in her as a person. So one of my criticisms early of what I was seeing with Chinchilla was that it feels like, how do I say this? The way I described it in one of the comments was that, or with Rin, it feels like he's taking the mask off, and that's when his music comes alive. But with deeper inflection and deeper thought, you can also think of it in the inverse. Chinchilla feels like she has to put the mask on so that, you know, she can be the artist to say the message that she wants to put out there. So maybe in some small way, even though there's a lot of performance art and stuff going on, it's could be more just like Rin, but in like kind of an inverse. By donning her mask, she can slip into her id. And by doing so, she can create an environment where she can let the things inside out that she didn't necessarily have access to. Because, you know, when you're a person, it's harder to self-regulate in a way that's authentic, especially if you're at work or you're around loved ones or family are around, or you just don't want to be perceived in a certain way. So it's pretty cool that she's coming out and she's knocking all this out. So you can see that she's embodying the character, not just by wearing a mask and looking pretty and wearing outlandish over-the-top outfits, but she's also encapsulating that in her movements, from her vocal cadence to her vocal performance to the way that she moves her face around in certain ways, where she, like, when she's trying to accentuate that she's like kind of going crazy in a particular moment, she'll pop her eyes open or like kind of twitch or something. Just like how when Rin is playing a character in, you know, one of his Tales stories, she's embodying the character known as Chinchilla. So even though it's different from what I like, it's very interesting. And you could probably write a pretty deep thesis on what is going on underneath. And whenever she writes her biography, it'll probably be a very interesting read.
Me gaslit, obsessive addict, that shit. Married to the part where I let go. I lost my mind. It's all fucking bad for me. Still I censor every feeling of profanity. The fragility could never take the fall. This was inevitable. Got you. I blocked your number.
This is like as interpreted dance as it gets. This isn't really my forte. Typically when Riot makes videos like this with their stuff, I kind of make fun of them. However, let's just talk about the greatness of this right now. One, obviously she looks dope. She looks like Padme, Star Wars fan. The Force be with you. All right, sorry. But the individual light in a dark room in a red outfit surrounded by white, what could appear as ghosts, virgins. They could symbol purity. It doesn't matter. The redness could be like a flower blooming, like, because she said that on this night, something snapped in her and she said, "Fuck it, I'm done." It could be like a booming rage or something like that. At least maybe I'm reading too much into it. Let's go back. Let's see what this plays out.
Cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I saw your thunder, you've had too much attention already. So I use what you left me to sharpen my machete. I cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I saw your thunder, let it rain on my life like a confetti. Don't call me or text me, I warned you, don't test me.
Okay, I get it. So that explosive moment is actually, so she started with the chorus, and the moment is the end of the chorus. And as you could hear there, it was less singy and more angry. So I imagine the next one is going to be more explosive. It's cool seeing these different settings. I feel like she puts a little more money into her videos than Ren does. Ren's are a little more down to earth so far. Obviously there's more to see, but she puts a lot more production quality behind her videos. Which you can see because she also does the same thing with herself. You know, the outfit she wears, she goes out of her way to. Someone said she makes all of her own outfits. So everything she does is a little bigger. It's got a little more bravado to it, a little more personality. Which, to be fair, in an industry that is rampant with sexualism and, you know, all that other stuff, and, you know, treating women differently because they're women. It's cool that she's going in the kind of the opposite direction. I mean, she could put on a little mini skirt. She could come out here in a tank top. She could appeal to the male gaze and make other women envious and jealous of, you know, her looks and stuff like that, and then feed into the same vibe that is kind of, well, made women's lives harder than it needs to be. Which is crazy, too, because I'm a guy, right? A woman looking, you know, coming around in a baggy pair of yoga pants and a big old hoodie is just as sexy as a woman in a silk dress that's got, you know, her back out and stuff like that. There's like a whole different layer of stuff like that. Like, you don't need to like accentuate your sexuality to be sexy. You don't have to do that. So like it doesn't play into like men don't care, you know? And then all it does is alienate and turn women on other women. Like, so it's cool that she's kind of like putting her foot down and saying, nah, dude, I'm beautiful, I'm talented, but my body is mine and it's not your play toy, and I'm not going to sit here and use it to victimize other women. It's so cool that she's going against that grain and she's just being herself through, you know, obviously through a mask, but we all wear masks even every day. You go to a family dinner, you're wearing a mask. You know, the only time you're truly proud of yourself is when you're taking a dump and there's no one around. Something you can't deny. My vision's vivid, I'm livid. I see it playing on a loop rewind. I lost my mind. I don't want it to be put on me to trigger your memory and relive mine. You'll remember too well, professional. What happened to tell your lie? Let me leave before what a place to end the video or the clip. So let's look at the lyrics because we just got through it. One, obviously she's hitting every note. Her singing is so soft. Like it complements the beat. I think this is so far her best sounding song sonically. And her voice is blending more. Like even her songs with Ren don't really compare to the sonic sound of this one. Like her voice is complementing this beat in a way that's kind of unreal, honestly. It's almost like the beat and the bass and everything that's coming in is just like cuddling with her voice right now. But let's look at these. Let's look at this. It also sounds so effortless. Like, Jesus Christ! It's clear that you're trying to soften something you can't deny. My vision's vivid. I'm livid. I see it playing on a loop. Rewind. I lost my mind. So, like, just right there, how quick she jumps into a rhyme scheme. My vision vivid. I'm livid. Like, that's an immediate rhyme. You barely even finish one word and you're already rhyming. I see it playing on a loop. So she's now playing with the word loop. And then she says rewind, which doesn't rhyme with anything yet. But then she says, I lost my mind. And it works because she hangs on rewind in my mind when she's singing. I don't want it to be put on I don't want it to be put on me to trigger your memory and relive mine. You remember too well, professional, what happened. Do tell. You lie. Let me live before I. So she's like building up to something explosive here. Let's go back and re-listen to that real quick. Now that we have the full context. My vision's vivid, I'm livid. I see it playing on a loop rewind. And then I lost my mind. I don't want it to be put on me to trigger your memory and relive mine. You remember too well, professional. What happened to tell your lie? Let me leave before I know that is bad. So whenever she goes into a part where she's singing heavily and she's not really like kind of like sing talking, she'll always harmonize. I think she's doubling up her her voice because like she's harmonizing with herself, bro. I think that she sings it twice and it's doubling up, but it just sounds so smooth, especially on the rewind in my mind part. Like I don't get how people can be that talented. It actually scares me.
Before I know that is bad for me. Still I like that it's like cause I feel bad, you see.
Hold on, did you hear that? That fucking crazy bass drop in the middle of there? Dun, dun, dun. It was kind of gangster as fuck.
I know that is bad for me. Still I like that it's like cause I feel bad, you see. You can never take the fall. You're so fucking immature. Cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I stole your thunder, you've had too much attention already. So I used what you left me to sharpen my machete. I cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I stole your thunder, let it rain on my life like confetti. Don't call me or text me, I warned you, don't test me. I smashed my phone up, threw it at the wall.
Alright, this should be the moment. Everything's building up to this. Prediction time. I need to put egg on my face. That's how this works. She's gonna start off soft, and she's definitely gonna get explosive. I feel like she's gonna hold a note for a very long time. Do it.
I warned you, don't test me. I smashed my phone up, threw it at the wall. Cause you called one too many times. What you do that for? Now I'm lying on the floor, racking up a debt. Now I'm anxious and I'm phoneless. What a mess. Never used to believe in that till you stole all my money. In fact, wasted energy backing you. Now it's something I have to do. I cut you off. I blocked your number and I cut you off. I stole your thunder, let it rain on my life, take a crazy. Don't call me or text me, I warned you, don't test me.
Egg on my face. She didn't hit that. She didn't
One thing
hold
that
it.
sets Grammarly apart from
She didn't hit like that crazy hot, like long note. I thought she would have pushed it that way, but she didn't. She actually went into more of like a kind of bluesy-esque, like how do you say it? Like it's like that thing I talk about quite a bit, where she got her voice really rough right there at the end, and then like almost like tried to slip into like an angry Michael Jackson. It was kind of gangster. Ugh. Oh damn. Well, that was a fire song. All right.